Rapscallion. How we doing tonight? How we feeling? Yeah, hell yeah. I know you guys are like, wow, the so super intimidating door girl is doing a set? Crazy, right? Yeah. All right, well, I mean, since I've worked so hard for you at the door, I might as well trauma dump on stage, right? It's what we do. So a little bit about me. My name's Krista. I was married for 9 years, and then my husband died. Yeah. That means I have been literally ghosted, you guys. I know. I do feel like if he didn't want to be married to me anymore, he could have, like, used his words. Did not have to go and die like that, but he did what he did. Yeah. My husband died in bed, which makes sense to me because that is where most men disappoint me. I know, yeah, we got one in the back who's like, hell yeah, girl, that resonates. Fuck yeah. Girl, same. No, but shortly after my husband passed away, I got this new job and it required me to move. And I guess one thing I didn't have on my 35-year-old bingo card was like where to put your husband's urn in your new apartment. Yeah, I tried to like Marie Kondo that shit. It did not spark joy, okay? So I took the urn and I put it on the dresser in my bedroom. I don't know, it just like made sense at the time, right? But then like some time passes and I'm like getting back out there a little bit, you know what I mean? Bringing guys back to the crib. Yeah, my friends are like so happy for you, Krista. Are you gonna keep the urn on the dresser in your bedroom? Yeah, and I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I am gonna keep the urn there because I need whoever is in my room to like feel some pressure. Yeah, like your job performance in this room matters, okay? Look at what happened with the last guy. Yeah. No, for real, one time I had a guy in my room, he spotted the urn and he was like, oh, do you think we should get a Ouija board and ask for permission? And I was like, I think he's living his best cuck life up there, you know? Yeah, probably not how he pictured his first threesome to go. But that's okay. Yeah, so after he passed, I did go through this phase a lot of widowed people go through. It's called widow's fire, but I called that my wid-ho phase. You know what I mean? Just where you think about just sleeping with every person you've ever met. But that was short-lived for me because I went back to this magical place where we talk about our feelings. Where is that? Therapy! Yes! Okay, not many of y'all go to therapy in this room. I can tell right now, okay? And that's fine. Just me. Yeah, hell yeah, girl in the back who goes to therapy. Hell yeah, clap it up for her. She goes to therapy. Me too, girl.
This room is our therapy.
You know what? That's right. And between comedy and the brewery, we do our best.
I don't go to therapy, that's why I come down here.
That's right. No, but I went back to therapy, and for a while I was like, you know what? I'm only gonna date a guy who goes to therapy. Because I need someone who's gonna like understand what I'm going through. I also need to be fucked harder than my trauma, and I have a lot of it. Yeah, that's a tall order though. You know what I mean? So, a lot of y'all won't go to therapy, obviously, because you're here. And so I was spending a lot of time alone, you know? But at the end of the day, I'm just grateful because I was a vegetarian before I was a widow, so I was already used to using imitation meat. Yeah, I know. Yeah, my neighbors are like, why does her room always sound like a barbershop? What goes on in there? No. I was dating this one guy. I don't know, we're friends now, so we can talk about it. It's embarrassing to admit, but I was catfished. Anyone in here know what catfishing is?
Catfish.
Catfish, you know what a catfish is. Okay, so catfishing is when you think a guy's hot, but then he takes his hat off. Yeah. my bed, so I guess we're still gonna do this. You know what I mean? Happens to the best of us, sir. I got a spot for you later if you're interested. You look like my type. No, but I was hot-fish, but I was like, you know what? I'll be the bigger person. We'll move forward here. I should have known it wasn't gonna work between us because our signs didn't align. You know what I mean? Like I'm a Scorpio and he was a bitch. It's never gonna work, you know? No, but like I should take some responsibility for it too. I can be not the easiest person to date. I can be kind of mean sometimes. This guy was only 5'4" and I called him Tinkerbell one too many times. He did not like that. Oh. I have learned a lot about what I don't want in a relationship though, through all this dating stuff. I have learned that I cannot date a dude who does yoga. Any dudes who do yoga in here? No, you didn't look like a yoga crowd. You really didn't, so that's great. And you'd never admit it anyway, even if you were. I went out with this guy who did yoga, and I was like, this is gonna be so fun, right? I'm like, this guy's flexible. I'm like, this guy fucks, okay? That's what I thought. Here's what happened. We go back to his place. He lights some incense, and he goes, okay, it's time to set an intention. I was like, an intention? I was like, it is my intention to be bent over and banged like a screen door in a hurricane river. What are we doing here? You know? But I gotta be polite. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, why don't we just start with some doggy or whatever. He goes, great idea. He immediately goes into downward facing dog. And he starts trauma dumping about all these emotions that are stuck in his hips and about how his parents don't love him anymore. And I'm starting to agree with them, to be honest. So I grab the nearest crystal, I shove it up his ass, and I get the hell out of there. Yeah, now I'm gonna stay home with my vibrator next time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have a great group of friends though. They try to help me out with the dating stuff. It's like my group chat. I call them my board of directors. You know? Yeah, you have a board of directors too. This girl gets me. My board of directors, they're so great. So say we're in a relationship or whatever and you send me a serious text. Just know that I submit that text to the board. And as a group, we craft the response. Okay? Yeah. So if you do something bad to me and I forgive you, because I'm nice like that, but I come back an hour later and I'm mad again, just know that the board disagreed with my decision and I gotta run it back. Yeah. Hanging out with my friends is like group therapy, but nobody ever gets better. You know? I call it Tragic the Gathering. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know though, I've been thinking a lot about my own funeral. Because you have to put a funeral on for someone else. You think about your own funeral, right? That's normal, right? Right? It's normal, right? Okay, thank God. Yeah. So here's what I want to happen at my funeral. I want to be cremated from the neck down. And I want my head to go on a stick. Yeah, you want to say something about me at my funeral, you gotta hold the stick. Okay? Say it to my face, you know what I mean? Yeah. My bestie's gonna be there, she's gonna be the bouncer, okay? Just she's gonna be the door girl like I was tonight, making sure everyone's there for the right reasons, okay? And then when everyone's done holding the stick, she's gonna take my head and put it in a casket. And she's gonna take a little picture of that guy Tinkerbell and put it in there because I need God to know I have already been to hell and I do not wanna go back. And she's gonna close the casket and she'll take the flowers that are on top and she'll throw them into the crowd and whoever catches them will be the next to die. Yes. And then she'll take my ashes, right? Because I was cremated from the neck down. So she's gonna take my ashes and she's gonna throw them up into the crowd and whoever collects the most of me will get what's in my will. You're all invited, by the way. You're all invited, by the way. And I want you all to wear like your sluttiest outfits, okay? I want everyone to have fun. I'm putting the fun back in funeral, okay? Everyone, I want to see you there. That's for real, okay? Listen, I've not been having a lot of luck on the dating apps. Cannot imagine why. So I decided I'm going to start a couple of my own apps. Maybe I'll have more luck. First app, widows and widowers only, okay? Sorry, y'all, unless you have had a spouse pass. This one is going to be called Mourn Hub. Mourn Hub. You will be able to filter by cause of death, okay? For me, no suicides, thanks though, okay? Cancer deaths, I'll consider it. Next app, you're going to download it, and when you put in your name, you're going to put in there what mental health meds you're on, and you get matched with someone on the same meds as you. Yeah, it's going to be called Relation Scripts. You can download that later. Looks like you might need it. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's all you need, I feel like, is alcohol sometimes. Yeah. All right, listen, you guys. I was on the apps recently. I won't disclose which one, because if it's one of my own, I can't look bad. I was talking to this guy, and I don't normally disclose so early in a conversation that I'm a widow. For some reason, it weirds dudes out. Can't imagine why. But he said, what brings you to the apps? They always ask that, right? Like, what brings you to the apps? And I said, my husband died. And the guy goes, well, did you kill him?
No.
I said, are you a cop? No, but I decided, I should be honest in that moment, right? Because I value honesty, so I should be honest. And so I said the truth, which is that my lawyer recommends I not comment on investigations that are still ongoing. You guys, I've been Krista Patronick. Please give it up for your host.